They say we only use a fraction of our brain's true potential. Now, that's when we're awake. When we're asleep, our mind can do almost anything. Such as, imagine you're designing a boat, right? You consciously create each aspect. But sometimes it feels like it's almost creating itself, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like discovery.
Genuine inspiration.
You can reach divinity in your dreams. That's the whole point. Whether we need the mirror or not, it's just a tool for self-reflection and divinity and selves, and watch ourselves die slowly in the mirror every day. I mean, come on. Let's get real. Okay? Movies and cinema have not changed.
Ariadne didn't know the difference between reality and her dreaming, which is the method of uncanny used to question her reality by looking in the mirror. This imposes the true nature of the movie media entertainment industry's ability to incept an idea in people's minds as a form of control or oppression, as thoughts are the strongest tools of our life. Sigmund Freud, he defines uncanny as the feelings of repulsion and distress. It's a special species of frightening that goes back to what was well known that has long been forgotten. That's like a dream. By nature, a dream is long forgotten, but you just, tried to remember it a few seconds ago.
It's just a dream, then why are you...
It's never
It feels real. Just like the pain feels real in the Matrix. And the feel real in the spirit realm while you're over there. The pain only exists in your mind. All the neurons firing in your brain. That's uncanny too. The two mirrors facing each other do not go on for infinity, as some would assume. Ariadne, Neo, and Orpheus use the mirror to question their reality. Ariadne is acutely aware that she is in fact dreaming, perceiving, and creating her reality now. Neo must go through a spiritual journey of what's possible metaphysically. He must use introspection, have a realization that he is the one, and that all answers to what is the Matrix, why do we exist at all. We have all the knowledge given to us by the divine, that we reach divinity in our dreams. Orpheus uses the mirror to challenge what's possible in reality. Are they a portal, a gateway, a tool? It doesn't really matter.
Even though there's a supernatural elements involved in all the movies, that's not the true heart of the uncanny, which connects all these movies. It's the familiar feeling you get when you look in the mirror. Recognize what's true and what's real in reality. When we look in that mirror, we want to see the best version of ourselves, where sometimes all we see are the imperfections, like Dorian Gray. I want to use this example as an example of how important dreams really are to people. How dreams can affect people in such a way that it changes their belief. 2 years ago, I saw an unusual dream. I was standing on the small hill of the bank of the Uzizi Creek. Suddenly, I was surrounded by dark mist. I realized that these are demons, dark forces. The mist reached the size of the trees. The circle of the mist kept on narrowing around me. There was no way out of this circle of dark and evil power. Besides, some Kalmut grabbed tightly my left ear. Suddenly, to my right, I saw Archbishop Makari, who pushed the Kalmuk aside, pulled out a cross, and told me, "Do not be afraid, my son. Use this cross to get rid of the evil power and it will disappear." When I raised the cross, this bad power was gone right away. Through the dream, I discovered the power of the cross and decided to accept holy baptism. I shared my vision with everybody. I want to use this story to reiterate the power of dreams, the power of belief, and reinforcing that belief which creates your reality in the waking. In 1892, Shaman Koka tried to heal his sick daughter, who lived with her newly baptized husband in an Orthodox native village. Despite Choka's attempts to help her with his spirits, he did not succeed. Spirits had complained that they had become powerless and been unable to approach a certain fire pole. Shoka interpreted this pole as a church building in the village where his daughter lived. Eventually, the shaman concluded that his spirits could not approach a person who had been baptized and wore a cross. If that story doesn't reinforce the power of belief and gives you the ability to doubt your reality, to question your reality, to focus on creating and perceiving your reality and protecting yourself from evil spirits, doesn't the belief in telepathy, dream sharing, collective consciousness of humanity, doesn't those ideas all seem within grasp? They don't seem that crazy. I now conclude that at the end of the 18th and early 19th century, there was something in the water. People were going nuts. One native, Shunkukusku, in his dream heard 3 times that the shaman was a great sin and that people should confess their sins. People were having visions, regaining consciousness, and after that, getting baptized.
To communicate with the unseen and seen world.
One incident, this is really interesting. Shamans
surface, opening a door to other dimensions.
Claim that they were conveying God's. Shamanism is concerned with the notion of sheer being and matter. Dreaming is like being in the Matrix. You don't know it's real until you wake up or become aware, like Neil. It's like becoming aware of the projections in Inception. The agents are after you to harm you, keep you linked in the Matrix. Shamanism, faith, love rekindles the heart and restores this balance. Neil has a soul death and is reborn, more alive than he has ever been, even though he was alive the whole time. Seriously. Orpheism, a name derived from the Orpheus of legend, has taught that man was a creature of sin, that the body was the prison of the soul, and that by the ceremonial purification of the soul could win a more blessed existence in the world to come. The movement found concrete expression in the mysteries initiation, in which was sought by those who were depressed by a consciousness of sin or by the awful facts of life and death. There can be no doubt that it did much to satisfy the emotional side of the religious instincts of the group. Apollo plays the lyre, just like Orpheus does. In contrast with Dionysus, uses more drums like the shaman. The music even changed, which reflects the consciousness of humans. The music went from shamanistic drums, a feministic, wild, and ritualistic beating, to the lyre, which is more harmonious, tranquil. Orpheus changed the musical industry. He reinterpreted that old belief and new belief and making it one. A mission in Ilya Ashtrabo specifically said that a dream served as the most effective motive for the adoption of Christianity. Okay, another story time. A Tiddish female shaman who was haunted by spirits visited a missionary who used a cross to get rid of the devil spirit that haunted her. The woman understood that she had misinterpreted the call in the first place, and she accepted baptism to stop the devil's violence. All these stories indicate that natives used such traditional tools as dreams to absorb elements of orthodoxy. The 12 dreamers in Mombasa go to sleep to awaken. And to make that a little uncanny, to bring it closer to home, we all dream, whether we need a machine or not.